Okay, give me the numbers of the two Mustangs.
5
Yeah. Yeah.
and 11.
Ballast. Car number. Mustang 36. And that ballast is 16.
Should it update on the fly?
It should.
Okay.
Okay, so it's ballast 5, ballast 5, 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay, it's on that.
So,
next one's 11.
Ballast.
Control C and Control V, can't you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. 11.
Yeah.
Okay, BMW
16.
is 30.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Just ballasting there.
Okay.
30. Okay.
I can see it. Right, the BMWs are model 30.
I need the numbers of the BMWs. Okay,
16.
so there is
16.
Okay, 16. BMW is +2.
Next one, 8.
Okay, just give me a sec. I'm
Okay.
just copying and pasting that.
Okay.
Okay, Control V. The next one. So we got 16,
8.
16, 8, 19.
19. Yeah, I'm ready for you to say next. Next one is 10 and next one is 14.
Control V is 10. Oh, fuck. I fucked it up. It's supposed to be 2 kilos for the BMW.
Okay, so just redo it. That's Aiden Russell, car 16. It's currently on 19. Yeah.
It's 2. Yeah.
Okay, then 8.
Control V is 8.
Then 10.
That's 2.
Yeah.
There we go. Control V. That's
10 and
10.
2.
Yeah.
Then 14.
Control V. 14, 2.
19.
Control V. That's 19 and 2.
Right, Ferraris.
Okay. Yeah.
Ferrari car type is 32.
Okay, that's ballast. Car number is 2.
What's the ballast amount?
The ballast is
Ferrari.
-2, so it's -2.
Okay, so card number 2.
Control C.
Next one, 4.
Enter. Okay, Control V.
4.
It's 4. Yeah.
-2.
Next one.
3.
Yeah. Next one.
13.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
7. And 9.
7. LV. And 9.
Okay, McLaren, I don't know the car model. You got to find it.
Okay, I'll get that now. So this is, what is that car number?
McLaren is 17.
17. And the McLaren only gets 4.
That's it. That's the field, bro. And I can confirm I can see them all. Okay, you good? I'm going to step and go.
Okay, fantastic.
Stand by. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome. It's Wednesday night. It's Alan Patterson and Dylan Hall in the booth, coming to you live from SARCO, and we're at Paul Ricard, a very wet, moist, damp Paul Ricard. Dylan, how are you, sir?
Good evening, Alan. We know the true story behind the scenes. It's been a little bit manic here, thinking that some of the admin stuff was ready for this evening. So thank you very much for your cool, calm, and collected poise. I was feeling a little bit flustered. A late one for me at the office.
All good.
But we are here, ready to go. And yes, it is extremely wet at Paul Ricard. And looking forward to this one, actually.
Me too, definitely. I think we're going to be in for some excitement. I'm going to go live straight away. We are already on track. Just checking the YouTube is ticking across how it should. So thanks to everybody for joining us. Sorry about the very late admin side of things, but we're on top of it. Quali times, Ulrich de Jager already up there at 2:05 flat, with Terry Wilford in a nice second place, Rob van der Heever 4/10 back, and then Steenkamp and Gabriel surround such a top 5 with a couple of heavy hitters still to come.
It was quite interesting to see Terry right at the top there, and through some of the practice that he's had, he was definitely putting in some good times there. Just understanding it also might have been when the guys had gone out onto track that it might not have been completely saturated. We didn't quite get to see what the conditions were like, but generally if it's raining, the guys want to get out as early as possible just to make sure that you're using as much of a dry track as possible.
Definitely. And we're still busy catching up, but we're about there now. Currently watching the man himself, Jason Farmer, out in the Griffin Racing Ferrari, and he is tiptoeing around the top of the track, as you can see, through turns 10 and 11, coming through into the third sector. I don't know if it's his out lap or if this is his pace lap, but we'll find out shortly. Guys, I definitely have to have a very good wet setup. I don't think there's hybrid necessary here. This should rain the whole race. Dylan?
Looks like it'll be rain the whole way through. So make sure that you have got a lot of mechanical grip. Make sure that the car is nice and soft. You want it to be leaning and adding as much grip as possible. And I know that some of those guys don't really like the wet race because it's more circulating than racing. But we have seen some really good racing in the wet before. So I'm still optimistic.
Agreed. Listen, the wet brings out a different driver. Some of the guys that aren't speed demons in the dry actually shine well in the wet. So we should see a little bit of a mix-up in the results this evening. Jason's gone over the line, so this is indeed his fast lap. I'm going to check on car number 10 if this is going to be a start. That is Isham, and here he comes over the line. And he goes to the top of the timesheets. That's a 204.6 for Isham Domingo, Project Vapor Boys. 2/10 above Ruan Heineke, who's sitting in second at the moment. So Ulrich getting bumped down 2 positions to 3rd. We'll catch up and see where Jason is on track. He's bombing up this Mistral Straight. I think it's 1.6 or 1.8 kilometers long, and this is an ideal drafting track, as everybody knows by now.
And the weird thing, you can actually see, I have an onboard camera, which currently is in his cockpit, and you watch him going on the straight, and that car is just moving left, right, ever so slightly. So he's constantly
he's working.
Just making those little adjustments just to make sure that that car doesn't spin off. And we have seen cars spinning going down the main straight.
We have. Depending on the setups that the guys use, sometimes they try and get more grip and they lower the ride heights. Cars actually then start hitting these huge pools, and the whole car aquaplanes. It's up and you're just a passenger. As we see Ruan coming through the final sector here.
I am just catching up on some of the Discord messages, and it looks like Aiden has challenged Mohat to say a last to first challenge in the wet. I wonder whether he is going to be doing that.
I think they are. If you look, the timing sheets are done, the session's over. F. Conradi, Aiden Russell, Louis Sefontaine, and Moat Musa, no time set. So it's a back to front or from last to first challenge for those guys. Goody, we're going to have some fun here this evening.
And we do have a slightly smaller pack of drivers here this evening. As we get closer to the end of the year, there is that end of that year madness. There's just lots of people getting busy at work, and the real life stuff ticks over. I am most definitely one of those. So very fortunate to have Mr. Alan Patterson running the stream once again. Thank you very much, sir.
Teamwork makes the dream work, my man. Right, we wait for the timing system to tick over. My camera is showing a bunch of cars up at the top pits, and there's the rest of the field at the bottom pits. So total of 15 cars here this evening. As you said, a little bit watered down entry, but life also comes first, and I'm sure some of the guys have other things on the go. But we should still be in for a very good race here at Paul Ricard.
Interesting to see Jason Farmer managing to hang on to the top, and I wonder whether the time that he has set has got Mohat's interest, because I'm pretty sure that Mohat is going to be wanting to come that last to first, as well as Aiden Russell in his pink muscle. Will he be looking for a winner as well, knowing that he's currently ahead of Mohat in 12th place? Sorry, in 13th place.
13th, yeah. Sitting in the car now with Jason Farmer, and there we go. They're on the grid. Wet conditions, 1.5 minutes to go. It's a short start. So this evening, as mentioned, if we didn't already mention it, it's a 75-minute. Well, I'm not going to say probably. There might be some tire changes going on, but 2 mandatory pit stops in the pits for all the drivers. But I don't know, 75 minutes. If you drive the car well, you shouldn't have to replace tires on a wet track.
Well, that is one of the most amazing things about the 75-minute race is you are able to bring strategy into it.
Definitely.
You are able to either run one set of tires the entire race, provided you keep it nice and tidy. And the reality is we have seen those strategies. Now with it being a wet track, we might see no tires needed whatsoever. And again, what that does is it just brings into that unpredictability. You racing against your teammate and waiting with anticipation for what he's going to be doing.
Exactly.
So, exciting.
Yeah, you can't call this now. It's way too early, and I'm not prepared to put money on this until the last 2.5 minutes.
Hey, listen, that's still 2 laps to go. We've seen what's happened in the second last lap.
My word. You just did a commentator's curse there and you didn't realize it. Yeah, right.
I'm challenging this curse.
Here we go. It's Farmer from Domingo, from Heineke, from De Jager, from Wilford. Terry Wilford in the top 5. It's a great qualifying for him in the wet as we watch the field come round. I'm going to keep camera focus on about Rob's car in 6th place. We should see the field. There's the Vapor cars at the back. Moore taking his time. Down the straight they come, and we're waiting for the green lights. There we go. It's green, and they're off. They're hammering down, and look at the track. It's a mirror. That track is super wet. Oh, that BM moving across in the back there. I'm a little bit further back here than I should be. Up with the leaders. Into T1 they come. And a lot of side-by-side action going on. But all clean, all decent. No dramas further back. It looks good all the way back. And I think that's the whole field through T1 and T2.
Absolutely fantastic. And Jason Farmer trying to open up that gap between himself and Ishan Domingo, followed very, very closely by Ruan Heineke. You can see a side-by-side there as Steenkamp and Gabriel Sir go through. Oh, there looks like there may be a spinner with Brandon De Santos dropping down the order. Oh, sideways motion there
McLaren.
by the McLaren, and the BMW coming back onto the track there. And that's a BMW.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sheldon O'Gullis, I think it was. No.
Of Jiglov.
Jiglov. Yeah, there we go. The Skechers BMW, but they're up, they're running. Ruan Heineke under the wing of Isham Domingo's BMW already. Pretty much single file for the first lap as they come through this fast right-hander. And they have to tiptoe through here because the cars want to understeer. They just want to go out to the outside.
And with this corner here, you can see that it does tighten up on you. So you got to make sure that you get that entry very, very hooked up. Otherwise, the car just understeers, and the track limits on this track are not favorable at all.
100%.
You think there's lots of space, but two wheels over the white lines, and that's all she wrote.
Okay. The usual man out there that we all want to watch, it's Muad Musa. He's come from last, is in 9th place already. And right behind him is Aiden in his pink muscle. Right.
You gotta say Russell and his muscle.
Russell.
Oh, some pit stops up front there.
Oh, early. 2 pit stops. 3.
3 pit stops. So that looked like.
It's Ruan Heineke in early. Ruan Heineke's gone in early. Terry Wilford's followed him, and Rob van der Heever. So 2 cars out of the top 5 take an early pit stop to get the quick one compulsory stop out the way. That's going to bring the 3 of them out on their own, but not in traffic except amongst themselves. We're still watching Musa, who's now bumped up into 6th, and Russell running a bit wide in the pink muscle BMW, but hangs on to the car. Right ahead of them is Sean O'Gullis. Muad's looking, and Sean O'Gullis, he gets right in his head. Now they're side by side. Oh, Wilfred's got to stop go. He went into the pits too quickly. That is going to hurt Terry. All that super qualifying out the window right there.
And Mohat using that a late entry into turn number 6. He was able to get that car hooked up nicely, and you can just see how he's pulling away from the 2 BMWs behind him with Russell now side by side. This is going to be pretty interesting going into turn number 8. Who's going to let off? Who's going to keep it pinned?
Sean O'Gullis hammers through. Always run wide. Always sliding. Always caught it. What a catch. That was a drift forever by Sean O'Gullis, and he's nailed that. Sorry, Sheldon O'Gullis.
I was about to say, surely, I think it's Sheldon.
Sorry, man. That was a huge drift, but he did manage to hold on to it. So position done. I'm going to drop down to 11th. Louis Safontaine. He's having a little ding-dong with Jiglov in his BMW.
Louis looks like that Ferrari is a little bit more stable than the BMW of Jiglov. Jiglov definitely fighting the rear.
Agreed.
And you can just see how that car is just twitching left and right. That setup just not looking comfortable for Jiglov at this moment.
We can see the amount of spray coming off the Ferraris up ahead, and Jiglov's trying to make his way through this, through these 4 cars up ahead. Although I think it was 17 that, yes, 17 past Jiglov. So Jiglov going backwards at the moment. No close racing anywhere up ahead. Fred Conradi right under the wing of the Mustang of Brandon DeSantis. So the Mustang struggling with horsepower, but Fred Conradi is pushing with the Ferrari, and in the background, Jiglov looking again to try and attack Safontaine's Ferrari as they come down to the little chicane section.
Well, Jiglov took a lot of curb there. That was a very good line. It's all going to be, if he can get this car turned in, get that power down, and we know that the cars are going to be wanting to slide out there, and you can just see how he is fighting the rear of that car to try and get it hooked up. But it's going to be a race of what an exit.
What an exit. I think he's maybe running a little, oh, mind you, look at the Ferrari's top speed. So the BM's clearly got some downforce, but he's just battling to control it. But the Ferrari of Safontaine, huge power. Up ahead quickly, side by side, it's Conradi and Safontaine. No, DeSantis. So Conradi, yeah, he's gone right past the Mustang. And the Mustang slipping and sliding through that long right-hander.
I think Brandon knew that we were watching him, so that was definitely for the camera. Brandon throwing it in sideways and having a big slide. But there's Jiglov and Serpentine having a change the positions, and Serpentine is still trying to get back at him.
I think that, the Ferrari was pulling him down the straights and we jumped away from it. Jiglov obviously braked a lot later with the BMW and just sailed right through. But we'll try and stay on top of this right now. DeSantis up ahead. Okay, so he runs wide with the Mustang. Jiglov's going to now be attacking this Mustang shortly. And Donnie Steenkamp into the pits from 4th place. So Moed Musa inherits 4th at the moment. From last to 4th. There we go. Jason Farmer, and into the pits is Safontaine. Yes, caught him.
So I think that is Donnie going into the pits rather just get out of possibly finding himself behind some traffic, as well as Serpentine saying, well, he doesn't really want to come and tangle up here with Jiglov. Rather go into the pits, open that track up again. And the thing about the 75-minute race is the longer you're doing faster laps, the better. The least you're fighting with somebody else, you're not slowing yourself down. And it kind of becomes this mini enduro.
100%. As we watch Jiglov now fight this BMW around the bottom of the track. He is under the wing of this Mustang. It's going to punch a huge hole down the straight. And you can see him working the wheel, trying to hang on to the car. And off they go up the Mistral straight. Quickest man on track at the moment, it is... why can I not see that at the moment? I think it was Isham Domingo at 202.352.
And I am watching the gap between Jason Farmer and Isham Domingo. That gap was sitting at 1.3 seconds. It's now up to 1.6. Yeah. So Jason is starting to just open up just a little bit of a gap there. And I must say, this is some really great attacking driver thing from Jiglov here, putting as much pressure as he can on the back of that Mustang.
Definitely. I'm unsure what's wrong with my timing tower, but it is not telling me who is running the current quickest lap. I don't see a little purple box there, but never mind. I can look off my timing screen. Oh, I've got
Brandon going just a little bit wider, going in through turn number 12. And then here at turn number 13, Jiglov right on the tail there. He was able to get that power down. Will he show his intention early?
Here we go. He does. He's doing a big send.
Just, guys, nice and easy. Brandon knows that you're there. There we go. So a great overtake there in the end. And Jiglov now moves himself up into 8th position. Oh, that gap, I was talking that it was 1.5 between Jason Farmer and Isham Domingo. As I've looked at that timing sheet, it's just now dropped down to 1.1 seconds.
1.1, indeed.
There we go. There is the current leaders, knowing that Ruan Heineke has pitted once already, and he was behind Isham Domingo. So it will be quite interesting to see how this is all going to play out later on as those pits start getting completed.
Yep. Right, my purple box is back. It's Muat Musa, obviously, with a 201.935. He's currently quick. Jason Farmer, 2027. He is almost a second slower. Isham Domingo, 2023. At least half a second slow. So Muat, as usual, just flexing away in his Project Vapor. The purple, I'd call it the purple people eater if I didn't have another name for it.
And as you said purple, that's the first thing I thought of.
Hey to everyone on YouTube, there's Antonio Gamble shouting for Jason Farmer. Hi. ADB, awesome start and fantastic drive. LC, thanks. Yeah, that was a great drift that we saw earlier. So thanks for joining us. A little bit of a bump on the start of the stream. I might have had the live race, and we were still trying to set ballasts up because life happened. There we go. What's your
panic stations?
Yes.
Panic stations, we say. Nevertheless, we got the ballast up, a manual adding in, but guys, this is what our live streaming is all about. There's all the stuff that goes up behind the scenes that not everybody gets to see, and sometimes that's interesting just to see it all coming together.
Indeed. Ulrich into the pits, as is Brandon DeSantis. But Dylan, let me draw your attention to the front of this BMW. So this man has met something hard.
Yeah, and he now has a drive-through. I wonder whether that's linked to... The only way that that's going to be linked is to the driving standards and taking too many curbs with
Correct.
him.
He's obviously had an off somewhere. He's met a tyre barrier, kept his foot in it, and he has received either 1 or 2 track limits, probably in one corner, and there we go. So that's the end of Jiglov's challenge for now. We're going to focus on Ulrich de Jager, who's just come out the pits. And he is right behind that awesome liveried SARCO car of Ruan Heineke. This gap's 7/10. So Ulrich having just done his pit. Ruan Heineke having done a pit. Ruan having done a pit. I swear to God, I saw Ulrich going to the pits and it still says 2 pit stops. So I don't know if he maybe didn't count now.
That was Louis that had gone in and done his pit. Okay, my mistake. So Ruan has actually got ahead of Ulrich de Jager, and with Ruan getting ahead, it looks like Ulrich has just latched on the little tow rope and he is going along for the ride.
Jason Farmer. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, just catching up on some of the messages coming through, but realize that you have done it. And Lucas saying, keep it up, GSTR, and Musa doing great, most definitely. And once again, Lucas, we hope you rest well, and we'll definitely see you in the new year.
Yeah, get well, buddy. On board now with the legend that is Muat Musa. We're going to just watch his lines around the track in the wet and see how busy he is on the steering wheel. Jiglov in the pits now serving his drive-through, so he's going to drop down to the bottom of the grid. And he'll be dicing somewhere around Terry Wilford, I guess. Mind you, it's a drive-through. It's not a stop-go. So he'll come out a little bit ahead of that.
Yeah. And that gap between Jason Farmer and Isham Domingo opened up once again. It dropped down to 1.1, went back to 1.6, and now just under that 1.8 seconds.
We see the BMW going up the track, and there behind is Aiden Russell.
In his pink muscle. It just rolls off the tongue so nasty.
It does, man. Oh, he got a little bit of a tail happy slide coming in there, but he holds on to it. That is, you got to just hold your breath coming through that long right-hand after the long straight in these conditions.
I was going to say, you normally have to hold on to your breath in the dry. Add some wetness there, and it definitely does make things a little bit more interesting, doesn't it?
A couple of knape moments happening for some of these guys, for sure.
And that's the thing with the wet, is that you anticipate the car to be reacting a certain way. It looks like Sheldon was a...
Yeah, back 30 seconds. Here we go up the Mistral straight. He is right under the wing here of, I think, Fred Conradi. And this is the corner that we're talking about specifically. And that BMW is sliding in there. All good up until here. And now something happens with the BM. Oh yes, look at that. Win Diesel, and he catches it. What a catch. Sheldon O'Gullis, that's the best drift of the moment, but he is now, right, going back over the start-finish line. So that was quite a epic moment for the man, but he has managed to hold on to the car. He hasn't hurt it, and onwards he goes, but the gap is extended again. Down to Ulrich. Mr. De Jager. Over the line 1.3 seconds, so the gap's changing all the time as we watch from the commentators booth.
Ruan Heineke still the highest positioned driver that has done the one stop, and I must say still very interesting that they pitted so early.
Yes,
because essentially what's happening is that now you've got Ruan that is coming through the traffic, but with a lot of some teammates there, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be making it too difficult for him to get through.
Plus, all of the cars ahead have to still do their two stops, so we know one's going to be a strat call and one's going to be a well, they're both essentially strat calls, but whether you're going to put in fuel or you run in the car light, you're going to put tires, we won't know that right now. But Ruan Heineke, currently your net race leader with a pit stop under his belt, and big gaps all the way through the field, as you can see. Jiglov in the pits now, so he's done a drive through and he's gone back in the pits, and he's probably getting one of his pit stops out the way, and hopefully,
and I think get that some of that damage fixed that we saw on the front.
We're going to have a quick look. He is still static. Hopefully the glitch does do the bodywork repair. Must have been a lot of damage because he's been there. Yeah, there's an engine start, I think.
No, that was the light just flickering, and look, when you end up punching yourself in the eye, and that eye twitches just a little bit after that. I think that's what's happened there.
What I can tell you is Moat Musa is what now?
Terry's got another drive through.
Terry Wolford is having a mare of a race here. But although that was a stop-go, so this is for track limits. I did raise this in the driver's briefing, and clearly the conditions are just proving a little bit too much for these guys. So Terry's cursing. There's some blue language and smoke coming out that car right now. I can see it.
Yeah, and that's especially after you put in all the time, put in all that practice.
Yeah.
And a drive through stop-go penalty, and that's making the mistake going into the pits and then running some track limits. Oh, no.
We're looking at Andre Gabriel, sir, for Griffin Sim Racing. I did do a livery sync about an hour ago, so I think this man might have selected the wrong car on his side, but I know I've got all the liveries downloaded. But
yeah, we'll just have to double check and see whether it was uploaded. But there, in the background, we saw Jiglov now, who is going to be a lap behind majority. Well, he's a lap behind, not the majority, but he is behind Brandon De Santos and Terry Wolford, who are currently a lap down.
Indeed. So Terry Wolford, lap 7, and Jiglov on lap 7. Terry Wolford now coming over the line. Jiglov going up the Mistral straight, so he's at least half a lap behind, but there's 3. Oh, he runs wide again. No, he brings it in time. Running interesting lines. He's got a very late turn in here, which has put him right out on the marbles, and there he slides that BMW.
Whoa!
Right in front of the Ferrari of somebody, and he's now decided to call it quits, and he's gone back to the pits. He's had enough.
Sure.
Terry Wolford doing his drive-through, and he rolls out the pits, and that penalty's out the window. Mr. Conradi, Fred Conradi, into the pits.
30 for Terry.
No.
What is going on here?
I think we'll see this car just disappear in a couple of seconds now, because, I mean, the pit line's there. You got to know where the pit board is. Okay, let's catch up. Leader is Jason Farmer. His last lap is a 2:01.9. Everyone is in fact getting quicker, Dylan. His last lap was his quickest, a 2:01.922. Isham Domingo in second place. Last lap a 2:02.3. So Jason is pulling away from Isham Domingo. Muad Musa constantly doing low 2:02, high 2:01s. His best lap a 2:01.7 and his last lap a 2:02 flat. So he's driving like a man possessed to catch up to the likes of Isham, his teammate, and Jason Farmer, and try and level the playing field right now. Aiden Russell not far behind. His quickest at 2:02.1 and his last lap at 2:02.8, a little bit slower than those ahead of him.
Whereas Aiden runs just a little bit wide. But I'm quite interested to see how Muhat has started, coming through the field. There's still 5.5 seconds between himself and the leader. As we see Rowan Heineke getting himself ahead of
Ulrich.
I was going to say ahead of Ulrich, but it's actually Ulrich who's
caught up, I think.
Latched onto him, and Ulrich is still with him. So that's actually a great drive for Ulrich.
I'll tell you what, the first sector, these guys are like 1.8 seconds apart, and the next time I look at the tower, they're like 0.3 apart. So each driver has got a much stronger sector that they are quicker in, and Ulrich closing in on the back of Rowan Heineke very quickly.
I wonder whether that's linked to some sort of setup, because depending on the setup, that's going to affect which part of the tracks that you're going to be better on. So if one of them is running a little bit of a downforce with maximum downforce, but a bit of a stiffer suspension, you are going to be generating a little bit more drag. If you're running it quite soft with high downforce, you're not going to be getting that much drag because the car is essentially going to be compressed off the soft springs.
Here we see them go around the bottom of the track. So first sector kind of done, and that gap static just on a second between the two cars. Now we'll see what happens down the long straight, which will then justify what Dylan's just said. If anybody's running a more slippery car, which one of the two? Ruan getting a great drive out of that turn onto the Mistral straight, and it looks like he's legging it. This gap is opening up now.
And it's quite strange because I remember seeing cars, and you stay on the right-hand side of the track, there's actually a puddle.
Yes.
Just about here.
Yes.
And I've seen cars just lose it going on the straight.
Well, now,
so I see they are staying well away from the right-hand side of the track.
They are. So into the start of the second sector, that gap was 9/10. It's now down to 8/10. So Ulrich has a faster car in a straight line, but he was picking up a bit of a slipstream from the car ahead. So that BMW is also going to come into play just up ahead. That is Sheldon. And this is now for position. We have a 3-car battle here, and this is 5th, 6th, and 7th as we watch them. Oh, and Ulrich one's deep in the Ferrari. He's going to make a late apex and then try and get a drive down here. Holds on to the car. Sheldon into the pits. Here he comes. So he's just going to get out of this right now, and the Ferraris go by.
And that puts Ulrich de Jager up into 6th place.
6th place. So that third sector, he lost 3/10. I think he's got a slipperier car and he's got higher downforce. So he's not as quick as Rowan through the corners, but he's grease lightning up the Mistral straight. Terry in the pits for his stop go 30. Imagine being a pit man now for that man's car and hearing what's coming out of that car.
That's where I think you just turn off the radio and just address it in the debriefing after the race.
Let's jump to Muad Musa, who's right behind his teammate. This was 1.8 seconds just a moment ago, and he is right here. So possibly Isham having a moment, or Muad just pushing. Last laps, Isham 202.8, Muad Musa 202.1. So the quicker man on the track has now caught the slightly slower of the teammates, and I think there won't be any team talking. Oh, Domingo had a huge moment out of the final turn there, and that's going to allow Moat Musa to close in. Not running in the draft, interestingly, but rather looking for better clarity as they come down to T1.
And I would say it's not so much really needing the slipstream. It's just about making sure you can see that braking marker.
Exactly. Yeah, windscreen wiper's not doing sufficient, but you can see Moat's right there. He is definitely a lot more comfortable in the car in the wet than his teammate.
And drive through for Russell and his pink muscles. So that's going to drop him down. And Isham gets a much better exit out of turn number 6. So that's going to just help him down the straight now and not have Mohat that close anymore.
He got a little slip and slide through the double right-hander, did Mohat. So he didn't get the drive he wanted, and that's given Isham a little bit breathing space down the straight. Yeah, you can see halfway down, he's now in the draft and closing up very quickly.
Yeah, still not close enough to make that overtake into turn number 8, so he will have to just back off. But there is the opportunity for him to sneak it up on the inside into turn number 9, just get a much better entry. Position that car right up on the curb now, tighten that line up. And it is quite interesting. They are carrying quite a bit of curb here, where normally in the wet you want to stay as far away from those curbs as possible.
It's a great view this, because you can actually see the puddles as they're going by. Track is absolutely saturated there. You heard one of the main pools that they go through. Cars look very stable through there, so I think the setups are good. And we can see a lot of ground clearance on Isham's car up ahead, so they've obviously got the car up and out the water and out the puddles, and this is why they're so quick at the moment. 3.9, sorry.
You actually mentioned exactly what I was going to say. Is that gap between Jason Farmer is now 3.9 seconds. So they have slowed up just a little bit. They were at 4.1, knowing that Isham was just about 3 seconds. So is this little battle going to help Jason Farmer just extend his lead slightly?
Exactly. And again, bringing up that second pit stop strat, what we were talking about earlier, some drivers either replacing or putting new boots on and others not. Oh yeah, shame. Our man has left the... Terry Wilford has left the building, exit stage right, so he's had enough. But yeah, saving time in the pits, not having to put on some tires. It's going to be at least a 30-second benefit for whoever doesn't. But the downside is the performance and handling of that car on older tires for 75 minutes. Some drivers will actually experiment with that to try and make up a bit of time. And that's what makes these races so interesting, especially with the 2 pit stops, Dylan.
I don't think in these conditions with the newest set of tires that you are going to be making up 30 seconds.
Yes, good way to put it.
30 seconds is a lot of time you need to make up, especially even if you're pitting halfway, you do a quick splash and go and you drive for 45 minutes. For you to gain that 30 seconds is that you have to be going at least half a second quicker. If you go half a second quicker for 45 minutes, you still haven't recovered. You have to be going at least 0.8 for 45 minutes to make up that 30 seconds. Yeah. So I honestly don't think it's worth it.
I have to agree, but what that is going to do is put a lot of people on level playing fields towards the end of this race, because if nobody changes, these cars are going to be slipping and sliding around this track.
And that's the thing. There has to be somebody that notices to say, okay, well, look, I see that he hasn't. Maybe I can have a go. Because now Jason Farmer has gained another half a second between himself and Isham.
Yeah, he's on his way. These guys, I wouldn't say they're slowing themselves down per se, but the gap is increasing. So Jason Farmer and his Ferrari He's very comfortable up the road, as you say, 4.1 seconds. This currently the closest dice on track, but that changes sector to sector, so we'll keep our eye out and see what happens. LC Jabé on YouTube saying, "Oh no for Terry, shame. He had a mare of a day today, and after mega qualifying into 5th place, this is one that he just wants to write off and throw it in the bin."
I think Terry Crackerbeer, come join us in the chats, and it's much more fun watching it from here.
Well, we've watched these guys. Let's just go and have a look at Jason, see how he's doing at the moment. He is 4.3 seconds, so 2/10 just on this lap alone. Cars look able. Takes a late apex as he comes through. This is T10.
Turn 10, yep.
And then through this little sweep. And now the final 2 corners, turn 12 and turn 13. For some reason,
Yep, this turn 13 is extremely sharp, and then we can see second and third in the background there. I wonder, that looked like a little bit of a flash from Mohat. Wonder whether he was saying, okay, listen, it's time to let me go now.
Really? Let's go back to these two and see what's going on.
Or it might have just been the flicker off the surface of the track. It might not necessarily have been a flashing of the lights. But you see that it looks like on the straights, the BMWs are quicker than the Ferrari because they definitely close
it's happening.
up.
It's happening. Oh, he ran too wide. Let's go and watch that again. 10 seconds back. Yeah, they come down to the little chicane. And he's on the paintwork. Isham had his wheels on the paint. He couldn't slow the car down. And Moore just said, "Thanks very much, sir. I'll go down the inside." And that pass is done. 2nd place for Mr. Musa.
So Jason Farmer now going to have to keep that head down, knowing that he has Mohat Musa, our current championship leader. I was going to say hunting him down, but Jason knows that he's there.
He knows he's in 2nd place. There in the distance we can see Farmer as he goes around this right-hander. Now on board with Mohat Musa. Gear down, another gear down. Gentle on the brakes, nice and easy does it. Full control, there was nothing wrong with that corner. So we'll monitor his lap times now for you, and we'll keep you updated as he puts in some quick laps. We can see Mr. Conradi and Sheldon Agallis, 2 pit stops done and dusted with 42 minutes to go. So they've got all their dramas out the way, and now it's a matter of driving to the end.
Yeah, when you say all the dramas, at least we now know that in terms of them taking new tires, that is no longer the option. Pit stops done and dusted, and now it's all for them to do is just bring that car home.
Ulrich Diache, a little bit up the road for Griffin Sim Racing, and he's coming through nice and clean. Currently in 9th place. So only your top 4 still need to do a compulsory stop. Russell and his pink muscle as he comes into the 3rd sector. I'm just watching him now because I've got a feeling he might peel off. But we'll see shortly. Oh my word. That's comment. Oh my word. Russell's muscle. What was that all about? And he stopped. Is this a hardware? Oh, and another BM. Oh my word. What is going on here? Who's that other BM?
That's Sheldon.
Okay.
I wonder whether that was a Liberty spin. Oh.
We're going to go back and look 30 seconds. Here comes Sheldon. So he's seen the BMW off already. We're watching Sheldon as he comes to the same sector. And I think it's the braking. It's this braking and left turn that's catching them out.
Yeah, you can see that car wasn't quite stable. Like as he had turned that car in,
yeah,
the nose was already pointing the wrong way, so it wasn't hooked up.
Russell,
and,
yep.
As I say, and as Aiden jumps on the loud pedal, it just little pirouettes him around.
Well, he blew that lap out, so it was a good call to come into the pits. But that was a commentator's curse. We literally put the camera on him, and he did a wild donut session.
I was
Okay.
going to say, he was just doing a little piece from the Nutcracker.
Good one. Okay. Muad Musa has pulled back 2/10 on Jason Farmer. So he is indeed trying. Jason Farmer's last lap was a 2:03.4. Muad Musa 2:03.2. So 2/10. It's close, but let's see how they get along. All right. So LC is agreeing with me. I did see Ulrich go in. He did do 2 pit stops. The first one didn't register for some reason.
Well spotted there.
Do they? Do you force? Is it a 1 liter requirement or just a stop and then go?
Fuel mandatory. You have to put fuel in.
How do you not? I don't understand that. I've never had that happen in my whole career of racing this game. Even a 1 liter stop.
Yeah, it's never happened to me, and we hear that there are guys that it's happened to. It's very, very surprising.
Dylan, look at the delta on this lap. Well, not the delta, but the timing. It was 4.7. It's now 4.1.
Oh wow! So, did you see that? Mohat was very, very squiggly through turn number 7.
Replay. Oh yes, hit the curb, a little bit of left and right, caught it on the wheel, and on he goes.
Oh wow! Lucas is saying that he did put in, in fuel. Andre goes racing. Pedal failure for Russell.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
I thought it was a hardware thing. It just looked very weird. And he's still in the pits, so I think he's not coming out. He's obviously fiddling with USBs and cables. Cable management, guys, let me tell you, or his cat just walked along and stood on a cable. We had that. There's a story about that. One of the endurance races I was commentating on, and I think the guy was in his top 3. Muad Musa flashing has it. Oh, he was saying thank you. The guy was running well, somewhere in the top 3, and literally his cat walked over the keyboard and escaped out the game while he was driving.
Wow.
I don't know if that cat's still alive today, but shame, man.
Note to self. Put the keyboard in a cat-friendly place.
All right, update. Last lap, Jason, 2:02.3. Muad Musa, 2:01.8.
Oh, wow.
So,
and Jason Farmer putting in some really good laps. And Mohat's really bringing the fight to him. 37 minutes left to go. There's the gap, 3.8 seconds.
I tell you, he's already feeling the stress and pressure, my man.
And there are still 2 pit stops that need to happen.
Okay, so Farmer, Musa, and Domingo still with 2 stops to go. And there you can see the gap. It's only that far apart. And Jason Farmer can see him, as can Muad see Jason up ahead. So he's trying, he's doing his best, but that was 5-6 tenths just on that lap. Andre, the cat story is so comedic. It's you got to blame someone, whether it was a mechanical failure or whether it was your pet cat. Just blame someone.
Yeah, the reason I did my drive-through and got my stop-go penalty is because my cat stood on my keyboard.
Oh, shame, man.
And I can convincingly say that Terry doesn't have that excuse unless he uses the hamster. But I suppose anything's possible.
Fred Conradi chasing the Mustang of Brandon DeSantis as they go up the Mistral Straight. This now a close dice as we see Louis Safontaine into the pits from 6th place. So he's getting his 2nd stop done. And Rob van der Heeff in 7th, currently your net leader with all the pit stops out the way.
And it looks like everybody has left Rob alone this evening, so that's fantastic. So Rob has been bullied and battered the last couple of starts. Oh, that car just didn't look like it wanted to turn in, and Brandon DeSantis is getting that car very, very sideways as he turned into turn number...
Oh, hello.
Turn number 9.
Isham into the pits. So 3rd place man comes in. He's decided enough's enough. He's going to get 1 stop done. So we need to monitor Isham and the approaching Rob van der Heever, who is not far away, I tell you what. Oh no, he's down at the bottom of the track.
Remember, they're still a lap down because they've now stopped twice.
Indeed.
But it was Ruan Heineke who was 40 seconds behind Isham when he had crossed the Delta. So it will be interesting to see where Isham is relative to this
Ruan's
man
in the pits.
Who comes into the pit. So that answers that question. Thank you, Ruan. But it looks like Ruan would actually have, Ruan would have gone past him on the straight. So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So we do have Aiden, who is Aiden Russell and his pink muscle in the chat saying mechanical failure.
Unbelievable. Aiden, come join us if you feel brave. Come tell us a story about the cat or the pug that just bit your USB cable in half.
Or the fact that you're doing the Nutcrackers rendition and the pirouettes at number 13.
Just going back 30 seconds, this pass has happened. Oh, we missed it. So the Ferraris, in fact, got past Brandon DeSantis and Louis Saventin up the road into 8th place. We'll jump ahead and have a look at Muad Musa. We're still in replay, so don't worry, this isn't live.
I just realized that the person we probably haven't mentioned the whole race so far is Donnie Steenkamp, who's just got himself in 5th place, has just been circulating, minding his own his own business.
Business.
Yes, like.
And in fact, he's in 4th place.
Yeah. We have lost all the timing on the live stream, however.
Why are we seeing it? What is going on with this game tonight?
Yeah, because I do have the YouTube up, which is about 11 seconds behind us currently, and there it's back.
Unbelievable. Have to just change the camera. Obviously, our track side cameras are getting affected by the moisture that is at Paul Ricard. But there we go. We're back live, and we can see everything again.
Well, you do know who runs the cameras. You do know it's cameraman Tim here, right?
Oh, right. That's right. Okay, sorry.
Cameraman Tim, he's been with SARCO for many, many years, and he sometimes does what he wants to do.
I need to meet this man sometime. Right, update. Jason Farmer last lap at 2:02.4. Muad Musa 2:01.7. Another half a second. That gap was 4.8. It's now 2.7.
Come on, Farmer. 30 minutes left, boy.
Dylan, tell me.
They still need to do the pit stops.
They do.
Anything can happen in those pit stops.
And Mr. Steenkamp comes into the pits with his Mustang from 4th. But Dylan, tell me, what are the emotions right now in Jason Farmer's head?
So there are two sides of the story. The first side is he is catching me. I better drive harder, and that's where you start making the mistakes. Or I'm going to drive my own race. If he overtakes me, it's fine.
He's in the pits.
There's still 2 pit stops that need to go. So he's just going to make sure that he nails the pit stops and has to put the pressure on Mohat doing the same.
Yeah.
Because if one little slip up, one little drive through, all the time that is now gained or lost here will reflect on the race.
Indeed. I can hear the Mustang of Steenkamp leaving his pits right now. And he's rolling. Jason Farmer hits his block and stops. His entry into the pits was perfect. So there shouldn't be any... Well, let me not say it because that'll be a commentator's curse.
No, he's already entered the pit, so it's not like we anticipating that there being a problem. But I think you're right. He nailed it, came in. This is a lot longer stop though, so this is possibly tires.
Or fuel. Maybe tires. I mean, they must have run a lower tank for the first half of the race. They couldn't have been running full tanks, so this is a long stop.
This is a very long stop.
He's rolling. Gets a little bit of a slide going. And he's out. No penalties, so good stop.
Oh, there's Isham.
Isham comes cruising by. So both of these drivers, even on pit stops, it'll be up to Mr. Musa to do his stops. And I kind of hesitate to guess he's probably going to do his stuff towards the end of the race, unless I might be very mistaken. But Isham Domingo coming out right, at least Jason Farmer right behind the BMW of Isham. And this is for position. If Jason put new boots on, he's going to have huge grip, and there should be a good dust to be watching here.
Jason was able to take a much tighter line through turn 6.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's got a good exit there. And I'm almost hoping that he now has been able to take those tires, because this is definitely going to take the fight back. Yo.
You can
hear how the car's just sliding over those puddles.
Ooh, huge amount of space, lots of respect. Jason going over the flags. That'll be a track cut. Thank you very little.
Yeah. And Isham just holding that line, making Jason very, very uncomfortable. Nothing wrong there at all. Jason now able to come back through the exit of turn number 10.
Dylan, no question. He's got new boots on. That car's got so much more grip than the BMW ahead of him.
I wonder whether we'll be able to just slot it up on the inside. Will Isham run wider? Not yet, but let's see. There's definitely an opportunity. If Jason can get the power on now, you can. Jason's line is much tighter there.
Look at that. This should be a send for T1 up the inside, unless Isham moves over. Jason's looking. He is looking. Is he close enough? Is he late on the brakes? No, he's going to follow him through. Maybe down to the bottom side of the track. That's his next opportunity. And he's probably spitting right now, because he's helping Muat Musa to extend that gap that Jason was trying to hang on to. So, Sheldon will drive through. Look how easily the Ferrari holds on to the apexes. And he almost thought about it there. Isham running the proverbial alien line through the bottom end of Paul Ricard.
So this is where the Ferrari should have the advantage now. And Jason is able to close up already. And you can see that that car definitely got a better drive. And that is where that corner starts. It's essentially from corner 6. Is once you get that power down, you are able to carry a lot more speed. Jason leaving that move very, very late, but he's still going to have his Isham on his inside. He's going to have to now go to the outside. Is there going to be enough space here for the two of them once again? Jason holds that line. Isham is still there on the inside.
He gets
Jason
it in.
just able to stay on the inside of the flags, and he managed just to get that move done and dusted. And this should now be Jason away, who is now coming through turn number 10.
Yep. T10.
With Mohat currently in the pits.
And also, long stop. I guarantee you Moat's putting on fresh boots. And he's rolling. Where are they? Coming to the final turn. So I think Moat's got enough to get out. Is he at the top pits? He is at the top pits. Watch this.
Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be close.
He's out. Jason, over the line. Here they come. No, it's a big enough gap. He's got about 4-second gap. Look at the gap between Jason and Isham already on the fresh tires.
So just waiting for the delta or the sector to update, and then we'll just see the gap between Mohat and Jason. But I think with Jason being caught behind Isham, it definitely has hurt him a couple of seconds. So the 3.2 seconds is that gap.
Right. He didn't get hurt too much behind Isham, but it was enough. I think Muad will get his car tires up to correct temps, pressures, and 25, just under 26 minutes to go.
What I'm still waiting to see with that, as the 25 minutes starts running down, is Ruan Heineke Heineke, sorry, Ron.
Ron
Ron
Heineke.
Heineke in a fourth place has done all his pit stops. Everybody from Ruan down has done all their pit stops, and it is the top three who still have to do that second stop. Knowing that Ruan was right behind Hisham at the beginning of this race,
Yes.
it'll be very interesting to see where he will come out.
Well, Isham's there in the spray just up ahead going under the pedestrian bridge. So that gap will wait for the update now. And it's not that big. Isham 1.9 off the back of Jason Farmer, mind you. And then Ruan Heineke now going to be going through the second sector, and we'll get the delta difference. It's probably about 6 seconds.
So you put the challenge out to Aidan Russell and the Pink Muscle, and
Yep.
guess who's just joined us in the box?
Hello, everyone.
Good evening,
Hey.
sir. How are you?
Not
Aidan,
too bad.
how's
You
it?
guys? And you guys? Oh, well, it could be a better night after
Yo,
what just happened.
a little bit of a failure.
Is this a pet?
Yeah.
Was it a pet? Tell us. It was your parrot.
No. So Murphy's Law, I just finally bought myself a sim rig, and while I'm racing now, I'm still on the table desk setup, and my pedals just start shifting to the left, and while I'm trying to move them, I obviously unhooked something, and my throttle just stayed full.
Flat.
Oh no.
We thought you were showing off for us because I literally put the camera on you and you did your thing, dude. It was like on demand.
No, it was. It's quite disappointing. I thought I had some nice pace there, but Musa's just killing it at the moment.
He is.
But
Well,
yeah, no, it was just
Oh
unfortunate.
no, I just disconnected my mic.
welcome back.
I mean, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
My earphones. I'm back.
All good. Well, basically, if you didn't hear, the pedals moved and he tried to move them back and disconnected them. So,
And Aidan, just in terms of these conditions, it's this constant drizzle the whole way through.
Yeah.
Is it better to drive on conditions that are like this, or those that are changing?
Well, it actually so it looks like it's constantly drizzling, but this track is changing every lap.
Yeah.
So the one lap I could take the left-hander going into the main straight flat. Next lap I have to lift. It's just changing so much every lap. It's actually quite a tough little bit of a race, yeah.
yeah, good challenge.
And lots of standing water. We know that going down that back straight there, that on the right hand side there is massive puddles there, which can definitely catch the car and send you spinning while
Yeah.
you're driving on the straight.
Yeah, I know. It is very sketchy out there at the moment. I mean, it's a blessing in disguise that my pedals went.
Okay, we'll take it. As an honest opinion from a top driver, he prefers it in the warm booth here with us.
Yeah, I know. It's much better up here than what it is down there.
So looking at the lap time, Jason Farmer has only lost 0.3 of a second that last lap. So that gap still 3.4 seconds. We still need to figure out where Ruan Heineke is going to come out after all of this.
Indeed.
22 minutes left because Ruan having done all his stops.
Oh, Isham, drive through from third place. So Isham's just been pushing a little bit too hard to hang on to the coattails of Jason Farmer, and track cut after track cut. We saw one earlier when his foot was on it, and I told you he hit the flags at some point. So that's unfortunate. Last lap updates. Moed Musa 2020, Jason Farmer 2024. So
Yo,
Jason's Moed's 4/10 at the moment quicker on track.
we've lost Aidan. I had another question for him. So that's Ruan now coming through the second last corner. No, apologies.
No, onto the back straight now.
Onto the back straight now. So coming through turn number 7.
I wonder how many track cuts all the drivers are carrying at the moment. Because it looks like it's affecting everyone. I wonder if the likes of Musa and Farmer are carrying some track cuts.
Listen, I do know how to get this information because all I'm going to do is say, hey, Lucas, I'm sure you're in the chat. How many drive-throughs warnings do each of the drivers have?
Come on,
Let
Lucas.
us know on the stream, please.
Be a team
We know
player.
We know that Jason Farmer has one because he kept that pinned and went beyond those flags.
Yeah. Let us know, please. We'd love to know what the stress levels and pressures like. 20 minutes left. 3 cars still to do a pit stop. Isham now doing his drive-through, so that's going to drop him out of the top probably 7 or 8 places. Rob van der Heever, he will inherit 4th, and Ruan Heineke will now bump into the top 3.
Yep. That's a great result there for the beautifully designed, striking.
Okay. Just slow down there.
SARCO livery. Oh goodness! We saw Brandon DeSantos just losing the rear as he just jumped into that power as he came out of the last corner, turn number 13.
Tim took a pot shot at a 30-second backtrack to see the replay of the pass that had happened already. I'm going to assume it was at the back end of the Mistral Straight.
Yep.
So back still on replay, so stand by. We'll be live with you shortly as the replay plays out. But looking at Jason Farmer now up at the top end of the track, going around the double right-hander. This corner is super tricky because the apex does tighten up on you and you've got to force the car to turn in.
But not only that, is that you don't really see the apex and you don't see that corner coming. So you're kind of using stuff on the right-hand side as your, hold on, here is my
reference
my turn in, the reference point, because you actually don't see that apex because it's kind of down and to the right. Out of sight.
Dylan, check the YouTube.
So that's Lucas coming and saying he doesn't want to get banned after his first year in the team.
Good one. All right, we'll take that as a solid response, Lucas. Nothing wrong with that, my guy.
Oh yeah, well done, Lucas.
Entertaining. Rob van der Heever having a little quiet drive all on his own here, but keeping the car on track and as I say, he'll be bumping himself into 4th place when Isham has to do his next pit stop, which should be happening soon. Ulrich in for a dice here with Donnie Steenkamp. So Donnie in the Mustang, the big V8 hanging on to the horsepower, but Ulrich coming along with the Ferrari, and there's going to be a challenge. How far back did that come? I think Steenkamp, in all fairness, just let it out there and just said carry on because he's struggling right now. I don't think these guys changed tires, and I think they're now suffering the worst for it.
Yeah.
Last lap times 202.8 versus your leaders 201s.
It is starting to look a little bit sketchy out there now.
Agreed.
With 17 minutes left to go.
Jason, 4.6 off the back of Moat Musa. So it's never over. It's all down to this last pit stop.
And I'm looking at the gap between Ruan, who's now 12 seconds behind Isham. So we'll know that Isham is going to lose that place.
Oh, I also saw that.
Okay. Isham is going to lose that place to Ruan. But is there enough? Because Rob is a further 23 seconds behind Ruan. So Isham might not be completely out of this and may still be able to hang on to a 4th place.
This is, I think it's Fred. It is. So Moat Musa is now, okay, Fred's moving over nicely, but that might have slowed him up just a tad. The gap with Jason Farmer at 4.7. We'll see when the next update happens if that helped him at all. Because Moat Musa is now in amongst some traffic here. There is another car just up ahead, which I believe is Louis Safontaine. Yes. So Moat's going to be behind this Ferrari through the last sector and onto the main straight.
And the Ferraris generally are a little bit, look like they are a little bit quicker through the twisty stuff than the BMW. Because it was kind of when we had Mohat who was chasing down Jason Farmer, is on the main straight, you'd see that that gap would close down. But as soon as they went through the sector, that last sector, where there's a lot more twisty stuff, the Ferrari was able to hold its own a little bit better there.
I can tell you that Jason Farmer made up half a second just while Mohamed Musa was behind that car. The gap now down to 4.3. It was 4.7.
Ah, but the traffic has come into play.
It has.
Lucas is saying that Dani is battling with that Mustang this evening.
Yeah, it's visible. You can actually see he's struggling. So he just decided to keep out of the way and do the gentleman thing. So Ulrich taking that position, and Louis Serfontaine will be there shortly, I think. Although he is a lap down, so he's now... Oh, and he runs deep through the final turn, misses that apex. So Louis Serfontaine is now going to come into play, and Mohamed Musa is going to get held up again. Although looking at this gap, Mohamed will have that Ferrari down the Mistral straight. The gap, we wait for it. It's 5 seconds now. Good gosh.
So Jason might have made a little bit of a mistake there, because that's cost him a second.
That cost him huge. Oh, we missed something there, but anyway. Let's stick with it and see what happens. We're going to watch Mohamed Musa as he has to negotiate. There in the back you can see the Ferrari of Conradi between Mohamed Musa and Jason Farmer. So Jason still needs to negotiate that car. Mohamed Musa now going to get a huge draft down the straight.
Yeah. Onto the main straight, and Mohamed slots in behind the Ferrari. And Alan, let's see if we can get that helicopter view, because that will give us a great shot of how quickly that BMW can close up onto the Ferrari.
The Ferrari's moving over.
And in the standing water, which is just slowing that car down all on its own.
Mohamed sends it through the right-hander. Let's go back a car. Oh, that's not the car I wanted. Jason, here he is. And he is now closing up on Louis Serfontaine just up ahead. He's going to want to get by this Ferrari as quickly as he can. Oh, and he spins. Louis Serfontaine gets a huge drift going, doesn't catch it, and Jason says, thanks for that, I'll just go right by.
I'm pretty sure there was more than just a, oh, well, thanks for that. There was, oh my gosh. What the coconuts.
Right, Louis going again, but we'll see the timing as they come over the line now. Here's Jason into the final turn. Moort's just exited the final turn. The gap was 5 seconds just now. Now 4.7, and we'll wait for this over the line. 5.4, my word.
Mohat, Jason, and Isham still need to pit. 12.5 minutes left to go. That gap between Ruan and Isham is now 12 seconds. And 24 seconds further back is Rob van der Heever. So will Rob be able to get himself ahead of Isham? Because that's effectively 37 seconds.
Yep.
And if there's a stop and go for Isham, it's about a 36-second pit traveling time in this pit. It is slightly longer than we'd want it. So the battle is definitely on between Rob and Isham Domingo here.
Run 12 seconds off the back of Isham, but with the pit stop, as you say, still in hand. Rob now coming towards the final turn, through turn 12, then turn 13, so we'll watch the gap. We know it's 12 seconds between Heineke and Domingo. We're waiting for the gap now from Van der Heever to Heineke, and we're going to see it shortly. 23, 24.1 and 12. 34, 36, let's say 37 seconds. It's going to be close. I think he's got past him. I think Isham's going to be in 5th, Ruan will be in 3rd, and Rob's going to have 4th.
Yeah, that will be a good result there for Rob. What I'm not understanding is why these guys are leaving the pit stop so late.
Yeah.
because it's at the point where there's no need for you to, to be holding what your strategy should be. It's just about now. Get the pit stop done. Don't make a mistake. If I do, I've still got 10 minutes to recover something.
You're right. Last laps, Mohamed Musa 201.2 versus Jason Farmer at 202.0. That's 8/10 quicker on one lap. Musa put new boots on. Must have. It was a long stop. We both saw that. So I think he's got new tires and he's just trying to drive away from the field now. Ruan Heineke last lap at 202.9. That's even worse. So I think Ruan's on old tires here. He's going the long distance, and he's hoping that avoiding the long stop for the tire change will help him. He should finish in third, I'd say, unless a major issue happens.
When you say a major issue, are you referring to something that could possibly happen like we saw at Watkins Glen?
In the last 2 minutes kind of thing.
Sorry, Ruan, but both Alan and I were very excitable when that happened, and it wasn't our fault. But we don't blame you, don't worry.
Okay. Talkie76. If a vegan and a vegetarian jump off a cliff to see who gets to the bottom, who wins? What do you say, Dylan? A vegan and a vegetarian. Who's going to win, Dylan?
Can I tell you this? I probably know the answer, but there may be people that will be offended. So we're going to say the answer is what the coconuts.
All right, tell us, Talkie. Tell us.
I'm not repeating that live, but you see, folks,
right.
honestly.
Yeah,
honestly.
A bunch of children, you know. Good one, dude.
Oh, gosh.
5.8 seconds, that gap. Ruan Heineke 10.7 now. It was 12 off Isham. So, Ruan, we're watching with the splendidly liveried SARCO Ferrari, is doing quite well considering he is on older tyres, which is our presumption, or mine at least. His lap times are a second and a bit off the likes of Musa and Farmer, but doesn't matter. He's driving towards a solid third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, and you can just see, Jason, that those lap times just dropping now. That gap now 6.1 seconds. So whether Jason has just got to the point to say, look, bring it home. Let's not make any rash decisions. Give him himself any drive-through penalties, because that's most definitely gonna ruin his race.
Dylan, this man, his last lap was now his quickest lap of the race. He's just kicked us all in the backsides with the 202.1, which is half a second faster than Jason Farmer up ahead. So I now am not sure what I'm talking about, but Ruan has found some speed and has realized that he is not, and that gap now 10 seconds. So he's closing in on Isham by 2 seconds a lap.
Oh, wow. So extremely interesting. But how has Ruan been able to?
I don't know.
He pitted extremely early.
Early. He's run almost an hour like this.
Well, it's, as I say, fastest lap, but I think that's always been purple, right?
Yeah, 201.2. Jason Farmer 201.6. Certainly not sleeping. Isham at 202.3, Ruan Heineke 202.1. No one else is in the 201s at all.
So has Ruan just run back-to-backs 202.1s?
We'll see now as he heads towards the line, but his last lap was a 202.1.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that was the same lap then. Right,
And
fine.
the gap down to Domingo now almost into the eights. It'll be eights So it's literally 2 seconds a lap that he's eating into Isham's lead from.
But at least you know that I was listening. 202.1.
Yeah, indeed. You were on the button. This lap now 202.4. So a little bit off there. Jason Farmer 201.9 now. He goes into the low 201s. So Jason putting foot. It's affecting these drivers on different laps and different sectors, no question.
And there's only 5 minutes left to go. Here's the thing.
3 cars to stop.
That only leaves them 2 laps to stop.
Right. Well, Moort's got to be coming in shortly. Let's watch him. He's 5-6 seconds up the road from Jason, and these guys are playing a Russian roulette now. Who's going to put first? Okay, let's put money on it. This lap, yes or no?
He has to. You don't want to be.
He isn't.
You don't want to be risking it for the last lap.
What about Jason? Jason, is he in? They're not. They're leaving it to the last lap. Are these guys going to try and pass the start-finish line in the pits, Dylan?
You can't.
Oh, you? Okay. Yeah, you can't. Okay. So it's this lap. It's this one. They're both coming in at the same time on this lap.
Just check Isham. Where is he on track? I just want to see if he's going to come in. Because I'm pretty sure that they two, Isham and Mohat, are in the same chat.
Right, so through turns 10 and 11, coming to the second last and last corners. And that BM's not on the apex. So Isham clearly very slow here. And on all boots, but I think he's going to head in. He isn't. So all three of them going to do it on this lap. Ron Heineke, 7.9 off the back. Rob van der Heever, 27.5 plus 7. 30. Oh, Rob, 35 seconds off the back of.
Thanks, Lucas. And only because of this is public knowledge, is that Ruan is streaming his stuff currently on the Discord, and it looks like he has 2 track cuts himself.
Okay, thanks for that, man. Right, so Isham going to put Ruan up into 3rd, Rob van der Heever up into 4th, and I think that's it. I think Isham will be in then 5th place. I don't think Ulrich will catch him. Moat Musa through the 3rd sector now, and it's got to be now or never. What was the lap? It was 201, so they will still get another lap in after this. So
no, but that's the thing, is you can't stop on the last lap. You have to complete that lap.
He's going past. Well, then he's going to get, what is that penalty? It's a 45 second or something, isn't it?
There's Jason Farmer into the pits.
Jason's in. So Moritz, has he missed the boat yet, Dylan?
I don't know what's going to happen, because it's going to leave 45 seconds for Mohat to essentially go. By the time he crosses, he'll be, so just say 45 seconds, is that provided he crosses the start-finish line
before the timer comes.
Before the timer comes,
yeah,
he is still fine. But if that timer is running out and he doesn't have enough time to cross the start-finish line, that puts him in a little bit of trouble.
Okay. Watching Isham now. It has to be now or it's not going to be. And it looks like it's now. It is.
Yeah. So Isham has to have pitted now, because he wouldn't have been able to make another lap, because
Correct.
that would have been the last lap.
Right. Jason's out through T2 and heading down to the bottom of the track. Moat Musa halfway up the Mistral Straight.
I was going to say, where's Ruan? I want to see how close Ruan is to Jason Farmer.
Run into T1 now.
Okay.
And T2. Jason Farmer at the bottom of the track going around the double right-hander and heading to the Mistral. So that gap's a good 12, 14 seconds, I'd say.
So it's essentially it's not the start straight, because
no.
The whole straight, because this is Jason just going into the straight now.
52 seconds left. So he's got to get into the pits, as you say, before, or get to his stop before the race countdown ends.
He's got to cross. If he stops before the start-finish line, he's going to be in trouble.
Here we
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Here we go.
I don't know what this is going to do. This is crazy.
Right, he's in. And he's rolling with 25 seconds to go. Jason round the double right-hander after the Mistral straight.
Just go back to Mohat quickly, please. Okay, so he has crossed the start-finish line.
This is going to be a last lap dash. Ruan's got to absolutely hammer this last sector now. BM's up on the jacks. Not Ruan, Jason, sorry. Jason coming towards T...
12 now.
12, 13. Moat's off the jacks and rolling. And he's at the exit of the pits. So he's still got 6 seconds. He's out. He's going.
Yeah, there's Jason now coming out of the last corner. So just about half the start-finish straight is that gap now between the two of them.
Yep. Just up ahead in the distance, you saw the BM take T1. So Jason has now seen that. Is there a slow? No, he's past it. There was a slow car there. He's gone past it. So Moat's out. Wow, he does cut things fine, eh? Well, there we go. It's a last to first.
And you're right there. See, Rob van der Heever did get past Isham by 4.3 seconds. So great drive there by Rob van der Heever up into 4th place ahead of Isham, knowing that Isham gave himself that drive through about 10 laps ago.
Yeah. And he's on severely worn out tires and probably carrying a track cut. Right, Rob, last lap at 203.2. Ruan at 202.9 up ahead. Isham, still coming. Oh, he came out the pits. So, our leader ended the Mistral straights the last time he has to deal with this long right-hander. It's been the typical drive that is Moat Musa and the Project Vapor team. Bad luck tonight, though, for teammate Isham Domingo and our man, Adrian Russell, and his pink muscle, who decided to pull cables out mid-race.
I'm glad you said cables. I do want to just give both Ruan and Jason a kudos there. Great strategies.
Yep.
Different strategies. And that's weird.
That is weird.
Oh, do you know why?
Why?
Because he had started the last lap, but the game was already counting down because Mohat was in the pits when the 2-minute warning started. But that's their second place for
Jason Farmer.
Jason Farmer.
Yeah.
Ruan Heineke in 3rd. I'll let you carry on there while I call the gents in.
And Ruan flashing away, wiggling that Ferrari. Superb result. Rob coming round. I can't even see the track map anymore, but he's heading towards T12 and T13. Second last and last corner. Good, clean race for Rob, and great result for him with some points in the bag. Nice 4th place. And through the final turn he comes. And Isham also through the final turn with a stop-go, managing to hold on to a 5th place. Ulrich de Jager through the final turn, a little bit wide and scruffy, but he will take 6th place. Donny Steenkamp coming along in his Mustang. And last 2 turns for him. You've got to love the V8 sounds. I'm sorry, I still love that car.
It does sound impressive,
It does.
that's for sure.
Anybody who says V8, excuse me. Bentley, Aston, they sound superb. And the good old Lexus. Right, 17 in the pits for 8th. Fred Conradi 9th. Andre Gabrielsen is McLaren 10th. Sheldon Agallis, also a nightmare of a race, but managing 11th. And Brandon DeSantis in his Mustang 12th. With the rest of the field just having the worst race of their lives.
Yeah.
That's us
agreed.
from track. We are going to hopefully get some interviews now. Give me a sec while we get this sorted out. Just waiting for the man himself. We have Jason here, we have Ruan, and Mr. Musa has arrived. Evening, gents, and how are you all? How was that? How much fun? Muad Musa, we'll start with you, seeing that you won. Last to first, but the pit stop on the absolute last lap?
Yeah, kind of lost track of time there.
Gee.
Basically, just battling Jason as always for lap time there at the end. I see he managed to pick up the pace a lot there as well. He did also a phenomenal fast lap there. Which yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, let's play again. So yeah, Jason always keeping you on your toes, which is quite cool. But yeah, literally kind of lost track of time, but the plan was to save that last stop for the very last. So yeah, it was kind of stressful when I saw wait, there might not be enough time left, and yeah, it got a bit sweaty there at the end.
And Mohat, just in terms of the conditions, obviously needing to overtake the guys coming from the back, off the line, the track was probably very slippery.
Yeah, so the conditions were as we expected it, basically to be a bit quite wet, but not that wet. Yeah, just like how can I say, the setup was actually built for the track out a bit closer to the end. So yeah, it was slippy at the start, but after that, it the track became more comfortable.
Dylan, listen how calm the man sounds, eh?
No, I reckon it's still, the duck effect where at the top it's all calm, but underneath the legs are going like this.
Mort, we want an honest answer. How many track cuts did you have?
I had to.
You,
I had to.
Oh,
you
Honest,
driving under pressure.
100%, and it all became because of Farmer. I'm just gonna put it that way.
last one. Well, let's go to you, Farmer. We did manage to see one of your track cuts, and we were almost certain it was a track cut because you were outside the flags going into turn number 8. Let's start off with yours. How many track cuts did you have?
Actually, I only had one.
Yes.
It was the one, right? So,
Yeah,
Joe,
that was the one. Yeah. Yeah, but it was comfortable. It was decent. So I was just kind of watching the delta to Mohat in the first stint, and then asked the guys in the chat like, should we take tires? What should we do? And so a few of the guys, I think everybody actually took tires. So I decided to do that as well, which I shouldn't have, because the times were pretty much the same. As the first stint. So I think that I could have just held that off and maybe could have made it a bit more interesting at the end. But yeah, Mohat was flying as usual. So
Yep.
and we did have a little conversation between myself and Alan. Is when Mohat was 4 seconds in, he's closing up on you, and Alan asked me what is going through the mind of Jason Farmer, and I'm going, well, there's two sides. The first one is oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and then that's where the mistakes happen. Or it's literally just keep my head down. If he overtakes me, that's fine. I'll chase him. I'm assuming it was the latter. It wasn't the first one, right?
yeah, no, 100%. I just was just trying to keep as consistent as possible. Obviously, you still get those mistakes here and there where you try and push it a little bit too much. Maybe drop the TC a little bit early or some sketchy few things. But yeah, no, I was just trying to keep calm. I knew that to try and actually close the gap to Mohat would be probably ridiculous to think. So yeah, just to hold it off and try and push as many clean laps as possible. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's good.
absolutely awesome, man. Farmer, it's a second
Awesome.
place there for you. A great drive.
Jason, quick one from me. Was the Ferrari quicker than the BMW, or was it different sectors that you found speed when you were in the dices earlier with Isham and so on?
I feel like coming onto the back straight, I could get the power down maybe a bit easier. And I was going down to 6TC as well. So it was like, I would say, not super sketchy, but allowing enough slip to be able to actually get the car moving, because 9 was just bogging down. So yeah, and I could see every lap I would pull that 0.2, 0.3 at that corner, and then they would gain up slowly throughout the rest of the lap, and then I'd pull that again. So yeah, that was my corner that was kind of saving me.
Excellent stuff, man.
See, Alan, I called it.
You did. You had it. Thumbs up, my guy.
Nice. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's go to you, Ron, in the sexy, well put together, beautiful green and blue.
Okay.
A good third place there for you. A very, very early pit stop call there for you on the first lap with, I think it was Fred that went in with you, and then Terry.
Yes, I thought it was going to be wise just to get out of the spray, because the spray was ridiculous. I can't see much. I really didn't feel like rear-ending someone. Can't see much. So I think get out in clean air and push it from there. I got a bit lucky with Isham getting a drive for that somewhere in the race.
That must have been a big few moment, because that gave you the gap, you know. You then got onto the podium.
Yes, that gave me actually my break. So but yeah, I'm just glad this race is over, because I'm actually driving with a shoulder injury. So this race was a bit hectic.
Oh. Yeah. Well, hopefully you heal up from that, man. Nothing too serious, I hope.
There isn't some nerves pinching in my shoulder blade.
Eesh.
Oh, lekker. Sorry to hear that.
All good. That's worth it in the end.
Yeah, and as I say, look, a little pinch in the shoulder, and I'm sure to get the car on the podium for a third, that's pretty decent and very much worth it. So well done.
Thank you so much.
Well, guys, that is the end of our round number 4. We will definitely be getting those points updated. Yeah, unfortunately, there was a little bit of a mishap just in terms of getting those on me. Apologies, when we had done them, hadn't previous week. It's a little bit dodgy to just let them go. But we do go to Snetterton next week, where we go back into the sprints. 1 lap qualifying definitely does come into play, because we saw Mohat choosing not to qualify. Like, who needs to qualify in a 5-minute race?
Mohat is yeah.
I was going to say a big thank you to NAG, our lead sponsor, as well as MSI, for giving us all the wonderful goodies that keeps my stream up, but not Ellen's. Thank you, Ellen. As well as VA Auto, Celtic Tuning Midrand, and our partners ASL Solutions, who give us our practice service. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. And to all those who join us on the stream, thank you. Mr. Patterson, thank you for keeping me calm when I thought the time was done. We still managed to pull that through. Thank you very much.
Guys, just an update on that. You guys were out on quali laps, and we were still adding the bobs to the car. That's how tight it was.
Because we had missed the server. The server had already started by the time we're going, oh, sure, but the BOPs haven't been updated.
Wow.
Well, well done, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, man.
Anyway.
Congratulations, Moat and Jason.
Thank you.
And Dylan, you owe us some knickknacks for that points.
No worries. No worries.
Cheers, guys.
I'll send them all. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.